Welcoming to the Chamber Amplified podcast, Matt MacLaren. He is the Director of Travel and Tourism Policy for the Ohio Chamber of Commerce. Matt, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Doug. Thank you for having me on today.
Absolutely. Well, it's a busy time of year for you as tourism season is in full swing. And as we were talking when we first started, before we started recording, America 250 driving a lot of that in Ohio right now. What have you seen around the state in terms of Ohio 250?
Yeah, that's right.
Excuse me, America 250.
Yeah, America 250 and America 250 Ohio. The celebration's happening right now and leading up, right? All of July, and especially around July 4th is when so much of it's going on. But we see visitors to Ohio year round. The summertime obviously is where we have the most visitors. So many of the areas of the state welcome them at higher level, especially those along Lake Erie. Places like Cedar Point and others open up for the summertime. And right now we're looking at a good travel season contributing to the $57 billion tourism industry in the state of Ohio.
So we're here to talk about the tourism industry in Ohio and an effort to not only attract people from out of state to come in and see everything that there is here, but also to get Ohio residents to take part in that. And that's something that's actually making its way through the Ohio legislature right now in the heart of it all pass. I know that you've been involved in that. And if you could just tell us a little bit about what that would do should it get signed in.
Yeah, that's right. House Bill 732, it passed in the Ohio House of Representatives. We expect it to get hearings in the Senate and hopefully pass this fall and be in place for 2027. The Ohio, the Heart of It All pass takes that great brand for the state of Ohio, Ohio, the Heart of It All, and it would offer different attractions, events, sporting groups, those that are involved in Ohio's tourism industry to be able to offer through the pass some sort of either discount or added value. The pass would be digital. Those that are residents of the state of Ohio would be able to sign up for it. And this is all under the bill, so let's hope it passes this way into law. And then once it is put in place, it is anticipated that first year would be a free benefit to those that sign up. You sign up through the Tourism Ohio's website. Tourism Ohio administers it, and that's ohio.org.
It's a pretty cool idea, and I'm just curious what got the ball rolling on that, especially in terms of, I mean, it goes without saying we all want to go do the things that they're in Ohio as Ohio residents, but the effort to push and make sure that we're taking part in the stuff that's already here at our own state, what got that started?
Yeah, so Ohio Chamber of Commerce, we've started doing a lot more in the tourism space and marketing the state of Ohio. I joined here 3 years ago. Well, we realized the direct link between tourism and getting more people to want to live and work in the state. And one of the top needs for the businesses that are part of the Ohio Chamber are more employees, right? We have a growing, in many sectors, growing jobs and need more employees to fill them. So there's kind of the loose connection to it. The direct connection between our support for Ohio, the Heart of It All pass, are the number of tourism and attraction members that we have with the Ohio Chamber. They're always looking for a way to get the word out about what they do and get more people to enjoy it. By offering through this digital pass discounts or added value, we think more Ohioans would take advantage of what they have right here in their backyard. The Cedar Points, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fames, the Columbus Zoos, the Toledo Zoos. Doug will be able to talk about them more and more, but there's literally thousands of attractions, tens of thousands of things to do here in the state of Ohio that we want Ohioans to go out and enjoy.
And what I like about it is obviously it focuses on the big things. I love to go ride the roller coasters at Cedar Point as much as the next person, but it also focuses on some of the smaller things. And having grown up in a small tourism-based town, Huntsville, but close to Indian Lake, Ohio, I know how important that is. There's basically a lot of businesses in that area that have 3 or 4 months. That's their business. That's their year. They have to get it done in that time. And any effort to drive people to those types of destinations and spend their money there, I think is a very good effort.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though I mentioned some of the bigger ones, the pass itself is not limited to the bigger companies. In fact, it would be open on a volunteer basis for any company that's doing business in the state of Ohio through the Office of Tourism Ohio to submit what they want to be listed on the pass. So you might as well get very local places like Deitch Brothers right there in Findlay, one of my favorites, to offer maybe some discounts. I'm not promising this, but it's just an example of what could be offered. Discounts.
I'll get a hold of Eric.
Ice cream that they do. And, or passes for things like children's museums, which I know you have there in Findlay. We also see in places like Mansfield, or other attractions, local, whether it be restaurants or local attractions across the state of Ohio, be part of the pass too.
I just want to talk about the state of tourism as a whole when it comes to the state. There's obviously been a lot of attention on our major attractions around. Are you surprised when you find people still don't realize all of the very cool things that we have in Ohio? I feel like anytime I see a post on Facebook about people talking about amusement parks, there's always somebody shouting, "Go to Cedar Point!" In fact, I don't know if you've been following that Freddie from Germany who's going to the World Cup games was just driving through Ohio yesterday, and everybody was, "Go to Cedar Point." People tend to sing the praises of those big ones, but are you surprised when you find that people aren't aware of the attractions that are here?
I am, but I'm also not. And here's what I mean by that. So I spent 6 years as the state of Ohio's tourism director. And with our budget for marketing Ohio, the heart of it all, we're able to really do a lot of advertising in Ohio and the states that border Ohio. Well, that's a lot of people. That drives a lot of visitors every year. But we really haven't done a very good job of telling our story to the rest of the United States or even the rest of the world. And I think having major attractions and major sports teams helps with that and helps with our image. But I still think there's a lot more. And thank you to Freddie, right? And all those that are going through Ohio are part of the World Cup celebrations, World Cup tournament that's going on now. That certainly helps too. But yeah, there's still a lot more that we can be doing to share our story about Ohio with the rest of the world. And what I certainly like is every study I've seen, the visitors that haven't been to Ohio, once they come here, we far exceed the expectations that they have of our state. So that means they want to come back. We just got to get them here, Doug.
I think the great thing about it is there are things to do in the state at any budget, and you can drill that down to local municipalities through parks. But I think about places like Hocking Hills, and I like to just go down. You can make a day trip from most anywhere in Ohio to Hocking Hills and do the trails there, and then get back at your house that night if you wanted to.
Any budget, or spend the night. We average overnight visitor in the state of Ohio spends over $400. We love that for the economy. But if you are on a $0 budget, our state parks are free. We have 75 free state parks across the state of Ohio. I say it that way, and people in Ohio kind of look at me like, aren't all state parks free? No. Many other states charge you. They either charge you a pass or they charge you an entry fee. So that's something that we can be proud of here. And by the way, just last year, our Ohio state parks were named the #1 state park system in the United States.
They are great. And of course, we have a state park just north of here, outside of Van Buren, and a lot of good walking trails there as well. So it's a great mix. Do you see other states that rely more heavily on one thing to draw their tourism? I think Florida would probably be the example with all the amusement parks, but it seems like there's a good balance of things here.
There is a good balance of things. And I think that's what we hope to promote once the Ohio Heart of It All Pass becomes law, that different balance of things all across the state and the regions, all the different regions of the state. If we do this right, I want people from Columbus driving to Cleveland, from Toledo down to Cincinnati, from Dayton over to Athens, right? We want people traveling across the state of Ohio to see the different things that we have. Sports teams, we're different from other states in that we have multiple cities with major and incredible sports teams. Think Browns, Bengals, Guardians, Reds, Blue Jackets, Cleveland Cavaliers, and there's others out there. Also our soccer teams and so on. We're also different from other states in that we have such regional geography. So we have an incredible Ohio River on the south part of the state. And then we have Lake Erie, one of the greatest lakes in the entire world, part of the Great Lakes on the north part of the state. Kind of surprising when I share this with people. The Ohio Marine Trade Association put out a stat. We are the 4th state, number 4, as far as number of registered boats in the United States. And I think that's because of all of our different lakes, and especially Lake Erie and the Ohio River. So boating is a major activity here in the state of Ohio. And then we're hard to beat when it comes to top amusement parks. Cedar Point, Kings Island, their Snoopy land often gets named one of the top areas for children. And then the different Hall of Fames that we have, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, places like Underground Railroad and Freedom Center. Ohio does a great job of celebrating what we've done, what we've added to the world with the different museums that we have. I got to put in there the National Museum of the United States Air Force too, right? Recognizing the Wright brothers all the way through our contributions today to aerospace. And it makes for great activities for all of us to go enjoy and for the rest of the world to come and see.
I say this as a Browns fan. Maybe you know something I don't know, or just have higher hopes than I do. But when you said incredible sports teams, you led with the Browns, and I appreciate that. I hope for them to be incredible someday.
Hey, so I may not have been talking about the record, but the heritage that's there. And anyone that's a Browns fan, you got to remember back. My dad got me into being a huge Browns fan because he loved Jim Brown in the days when they were the best team in football. And maybe one day we'll be back there and win a Super Bowl. Who knows?
I've passed that on to my son as well. And sometimes I wonder about that. Speaking of sports, though, obviously we have great professional sports. We have great opportunities with professional sports. Youth sports drives a lot of tourism, or a lot of people in here. We see it here in Findlay with some of the tournaments that are held here, and having kids who have played club soccer. We've traveled all over the state for those. How big of an impact is that when it comes to travel and tourism in Ohio?
It's a huge impact. And one of the things we really like, not only does Ohio do that well, offer several different sporting venues, from the one you just mentioned to Sports Forest Park that's up in Sandusky, to Spooky Nook, which is in the southwest part of the state. And now even Pro Football Hall of Fame has different fields that they use for these youth sports, and many other venues across the state. But we also like that it's resilient. So in a year like this, we're still seeing a good tourism year, but we're seeing people travel slightly less, and that's slightly due to gas prices right now. But what they still do is they travel for their families and they travel for their youth sporting events. So when you're able to add that into the mix, it not only provides revenue for an area, but it provides revenue that's pretty resilient even when the economies or there's outside pressures on the tourism industry.
So before we wrap it up, I want to bring it back to the heart of it all pass. Like you said, it went through the House, got to go through the state Senate. Yeah. What has the conversation been with lawmakers about that? What concerns have they raised?
Yeah, it really haven't been concerns. I want to give credit to Chair of the Arts, Athletics, and Tourism Committee, Chair Melanie Miller, and then Vice Chair Mark Heiner. They pulled the entire industry together to work on this pass. So any of the concerns were kind of worked out in the beginning stage. I think that's why you saw it pass through the committee unanimously and pass out of the House, with almost everyone voting for it. In the Senate, the House is adjourned for the summer, and the Senate and House are not expected to be back till the fall. So now that it's over in the General Government Committee, Chair Susan Manchester, we hope that it will get hearings, and people kind of see that it's a positive thing for the state of Ohio, using the Ohio, the Heart of It All brand, something that I got to work on bringing back when I was state tourism director. We'll give the power of that brand in the state of Ohio and helping promote all the different attractions and events that we have in the state, and create what I think will be a really great pass for those that are residents of the state of Ohio to use in 2027.
Definitely sounds like a win. We'll be following that closely and looking forward to seeing how that goes and the eventual rollout of it. Matt, if people want to learn more about the proposal and anything going on with that, what's the best way for them to follow along?
Yeah, take a look at Ohio Chamber on social media, and we'll put up information as the bill makes its way through the legislature. You can also go to ohio.org, and you'll find all the attractions in the state of Ohio that are listed there.
Well, we certainly appreciate your time today. Thanks for taking time out.
Thank you, Doug. Thanks for having me on the show.